Hello, welcome to another edition of I Don't Normally Watch That here on JLJ Media. I'm James Lott Jr., and I have a show that I ran across last night that's getting a lot of attention. I get my coffee first. Start it. I have to wake up. It's Christmas Day, of course. So hello, everybody. Christmas Day. Happy Merry Christmas to you, those who celebrate. I caught a show that I was like, I'm going to try it. Every once in a while, I get hooked on the craziest shows on Netflix. I went on Netflix and I got excuse me. Every once in a while, there are shows that I don't normally watch, but I'll end up watching the whole season, binging the whole season, or seeing a movie and end up watching it. Sometimes you just get caught. This was called 20-somethings Austin. And when I saw the premise and I read the premise, I was like, oh, it's the real world. It's MTV's The Real World, just another setting. I mean, another alliteration of it somehow. So that's not uncommon, but I thought, okay, I'll try it. I'm not 20-something at all. Far from it. But sometimes you'll get hooked on a character or characters. I say characters because literally it's all casted, right, folks? This is natural. It's casted. They look for certain people, the whole thing. And then they throw them together. So I was like, so I'm gonna see which character I may like and I may follow it. So first thing, they dropped 6 episodes just now, only 12 total. But they dropped 6, I think December 10th or 11th, or whatever. But I didn't know about it until now. I started watching it. And it's totally benign. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's 8 people being moved to Austin, Texas, which is like one of the hot spots these days. As the one city in Texas that's considered the weird city, in quotes, kind of like the place to go. I've been there for lots of music and art and culture. And it's like in the Texas circle, that huge state. It's like that's the one place that's like the most un-Texas, I guess, on some level. It's still Texas, but like un-Texas of the Texas other places. And I've been to each of the big cities. I've been to Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth. I've been to all of them. And that one does seem like you could take that state, that city, and put it somewhere else, and it might be just the same. It's fine. But they are bringing them there there are different points in their lives, okay, just like real world. But here's a twist that I didn't realize. They have 2 separate houses, boys, girls. They're identical almost, and then they share a backyard. That surprised me. Usually they put them all together in one house. This is separate. The 4 boys over here, 4 girls over here. They are separate, but they can meet up in the middle. And of course, there's a pool and a fire pit, all this stuff. So they get there. The house itself again pleasantly surprised. It was nothing super special. The house was just like a normal upstairs, downstairs house. The furniture, the decor, it wasn't like outrageously artistic or super fancy. It was just like, oh, it's a house. I was like, okay. So far I'm so far okay. It's fine. And again, it kind of impressed me a little too. It was like that it wasn't anything super. There was no fish tank or anything. That's all just told MTV. But it's like a regular house, like a 2-story house, and 4-bedroom house. So he's getting 4 bedrooms. So we'll meet the girls, of course, meet the guys. I'm not going to get into who they are. You go watch the show if you want to watch it, and you can find who they all are. But the archetypes are there. You have the girl who comes out as bisexual, and she kind of likes the guys that are there, and then takes to one of the girls that's there. So that's already right there. We have the gay guy who's newly gay, who hasn't been out that long. So we have him doing the coming out thing. We have the meathead. He calls himself a meathead, but he's not really meathead. He's a sensitive meathead, apparently. He's like sensitive inside. Then you have the nerd who's kind of hot. I'm like, oh, he's kind of hot, actually. Which was funny because the first kind of storyline was the black chick on the show, who's beautiful, lots of hair, love her style. She's kind of into him a little bit. So I'm like, okay. And so I was like, I didn't expect that either. That was kind of interesting. It's like kind of hitting it off. He's the nerd, doesn't understand, he's like, oh, what's going on? It's just like all this, the girl who's a little larger, who literally is not that big. I was looking at her, she was talking about her weight, and I'm like, you actually look great. I don't think there's anything, I don't think she's like, I don't know. I mean, yes, compared to some of the other girls, which are very thin, I'm like, girl, you are average size. You are the size that we all see everywhere, and I'm glad she's on the show. Again, diverse casting, so that's good too. Another thing that surprised me, most of them were from the South. With South Carolina, North Carolina, Arkansas, Florida. We have two from California, one from Tarzana, one from Northern California. We have the black guy who's a model. His name was Kamari. I have a cousin named Kamari, but it's not him. So I was like, oh, okay, I have a cousin named Kamari. Never seen that name anywhere else. I'm sure it was out there, but I just never seen it myself anywhere else. So it's kind of cool. And they all meet up. But here's the one thing that I was really surprised in the first episode. No one got sloppy drunk. I don't give this is a spoiler. I guess a small spoiler. Not really. Yeah, I'll put in the description as spoilers you're gonna watch the show. But it's like nobody got super crazy. Nobody was going off on anybody. There was like a shady move that happened with three people towards the end of the episode. That was it. It was like minor shade. But other than that, it was like very tame. It was like they really did get to know each other. They were all getting along. They were all liking each other. I just didn't. It was like, okay, this was decent. I did the second episode. I just realized it's not for me. It's not for me. It's not geared for me. I'm not interested to even continue the show because again, I don't normally watch this kind of stuff. But I thought I would tell you guys out there because it's getting suppressed that if you're in your 20s, even in your 30s, you look back a little bit. I say it's harmless. Go ahead and watch it. I think this is Netflix foray into this type of reality show series. I don't think it's anything remarkable. I feel like it's Real World did it 33 seasons. Other shows have done it on things. So it's not revolutionary or anything like that. But if you're looking for some reality TV fare, which sometimes I am, sometimes I want to watch something that's not The Housewives or something. I just want to watch something that just some folks doing stuff. Just know that obviously they're carving out storylines. It's being produced, which is fine. I mean, those shows are produced. And just watch it if you like the characters. See what happens. Who knows? Maybe I'll go back into it again and watch more episodes. I don't know. But for now, I've watched 2. I'm done. And I'm good to go. But it's on Netflix. It's called 20-somethings Austin. So that tells me they're hoping it's a season of success so they can do 20-somethings Miami, 20-somethings LA. I'm sure they want to do a franchise. Because everybody wants a franchise. So don't be surprised. But there you go. And I'm James Lott Jr. Follow me at JLJ Media everywhere. YouTube, JLJ Media. I have other episodes of this show. Right now, it's only audio. I talk about, so far, this is the 4th episode. So I'm going to do more of these where I talk about shows that I just don't normally watch. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. Be careful out there. See you next time.